Hi, I'm Chef AJ from Leith and it's time for something sweet. We're going to be making a quick and easy upside down lime cheesecake. Before we start cooking one of these Leith recipes, we need to do these three things. Number one, if you've got long hair, get a bobble and tie your hair back. If you've got short hair, make sure it's neat and tidy and away from your face. The second thing to do, we need to use plenty of soap and warm water, and you need to give your hands a really good wash for 20 seconds and then give them a good dry with either some blue roll or a towel. Number three, apron. You've got to look like a chef if you want to cook nice chef quality food. Get your apron, put it over your head. If it's a bit long and it's sort of dangling down a bit, you can tighten it with the buckle. And then take these bits and pass them around your side. Like so, bring to the front and then just tie in a bow. Just like that. Let's go. The ingredients for this recipe are some cream cheese, some icing sugar, a lime, some double cream and the digestive biscuit. In this session, we're going to learn how to whisk with a hand whisk, and we're also going to learn how to fold with a tablespoon. The first step of this recipe, we're going to be using a rolling pin and a bowl to crush a biscuit. The first thing we're going to do is crush our biscuit. So I'm going to pop that into a slightly larger bowl, and then using the end of our rolling pin and holding the bowl firmly, we're going to start to move up and down and crush that biscuit like this. And when you've got a nice big rolling pin, it crushes really quick and easy, just like that. And what we're aiming for is to have no big pieces of biscuit left. Done, just like that. As you can see, I've got a really nice textured biscuit. It's not a powder, but there's all those big lumps have been removed. In this step, we're going to be taking our lime and we're going to start by zesting it on the grater. We're then going to cut it in half, and finally we're going to juice both halves of our lime. The first step, we're going to zest our lime. So I've got my box grater, put my hand firmly on top and using this fine side. You want to keep the lime moving. If you just go on one side for a long time, you're going to end up with a really white and bitter part of the lime that we don't want. So I'm going to go down like so, and then I'm just going to keep moving the lime around. 1 and 2 and down, working your way around all the bits of the lime. And then when you get to a point where you're starting to see lots of white on the lime, that means you've nearly done it all. So I've got a little bit here I haven't done, but most of it, the zest has come off. So I'm just going to finish these bits. You don't need to worry about getting all of it. Definitely give your grater a good knock. And then you'll see you've got some lovely lime zest there. And just check inside, there might be a little bit of extra zest that you can get out of here. There we go. Oh, smells so good already. So I'm just going to use my knife now to just move this zest just to one side. So we've got a little bit of space to cut our lime in half. But before we slice our lime, we need to put it on the board like that, and then using your hand, we're going to give it a little roll backwards and forwards. And what that helps to do is not only will it make your hand smell beautifully of fresh lime, it'll also release as much juice as possible inside the lime. There we go. So to cut the lime, we're going to hold it at the two ends, or the two poles, and using that nice firm bridge hold, we're going to use the knife to cut down the middle or through the equator of the lime like this. And there we've got our lovely fresh lime ready for juicing. I've got my juicer and now we're going to juice our limes. So best thing to do is hold the juicer firmly at the base, and then this side that we've just chopped, you're going to twist backwards and forwards while applying a little bit of pressure, and all the juice will come out, just like this. Turning and pushing, just like that. And you can twist and twist and twist until you can feel that all the lime has been really well juiced. And you can see there's no juice left in there. So for the second half, I'm going to put it on the top again, start twisting, and just work our way down the lime, moving it around backwards and forwards, just like that. Lovely, and you can see again, no juice in there. And the great thing about these juicers is all the little bits are kept in the top, and all the juice is lovely in there, ready for the next step. For this next step, I'm just going to put the cream cheese into a bigger bowl, like so. And then we're going to use our sieve to sift over some icing sugar, and then we're going to add the lime zest and lime juice that we prepared earlier. I'm going to start now by just giving this cream cheese a little bit of a mix, just to loosen it slightly, like that. And then I'm going to use my sieve to sift over the icing sugar. I'm going to put that in there, and then a little tap, very slowly, keeping that sieve near the bowl so you don't get icing sugar everywhere. Now you can see I've got a few big bits of icing sugar left there. Just using your 3 fingers, just press that through the sieve. And you know the sieve's done its job because all those big lumps have been caught. That's all in. What we're going to do, now let's give this a little bit of a mix. Slowly mix in a bit of the icing sugar, like so. The next step, let's get the lime in. First job, the juice. What we're going to do, let's get some mixing going. Got to be a bit careful here, there's quite a bit of juice. Folding, folding. And if you see any big lumps, you just want to press them against the bowl using your spoon. Just keep mixing it, it'll come back. Perfect. And then to finish, we've got the lime zest that we can just drop in really easily like that. And then just one last mix. There we go. Our cheesecake mix has begun. In this next step, we're going to be using our whisk to whisk this cream to a really nice light and pillowy consistency. So I'm going to start by just putting this cream into a bigger bowl so it doesn't go everywhere and you don't make a big mess. I've got my balloon whisk, I've got my slightly bigger bowl. I'm going to hold the bowl firmly, and then I'm going to start to move my whisk through the cream. And make sure you don't just move it backwards and forwards. You want to slightly tilt your bowl and lift the cream up. So you're getting as much air in as possible. And with this, you've just got to be patient. I've been whisking for about a minute, and as you can see, it is thickening very nicely, but it's not thick enough yet. You want to see almost little mountains forming on the top. So I'm going to keep going, but this is going to happen quite quickly. There we go. So you can see on the end of the balloon whisk how it's holding its shape, and you can see the little ribbons in the bowl. That's perfectly whipped cream for this recipe. For our next step, we're going to take our lovely whipped cream and we're going to fold it into our lime mixture from earlier. Make sure that biscuit's there. We're going to use that in a minute as well. We've got here our perfectly whipped cream and we've got our lime mixture. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take half of this mixture in straight away. So carefully put in that half. Don't need to be too accurate here, but just by eye. There we go. And we're going to slowly fold in, using this spoon, that whipped cream. And folding, you want to scrape the bottom of the bowl and then come over the top, like that. So scrape the bottom of the bowl and then over the top, like that. And just slowly doing that over. And can you see how I'm sort of twisting the bowl a little bit as well? That can really help. Now, once that's mixed in, we'll get the other bit of cream. So don't waste anything. You want all that cream in. There we go. And same again. Scrape the bottom of the bowl and over the top. Scrape the bottom of the bowl and over the top. And just fold that. And being very careful and slow with this movement. We don't want to be doing really quickly like we were earlier, because we want to have a light and fluffy mixture. So you can see how beautifully light and fluffy that is and how it's holding its shape. And lovely to see those little bits of lime zest through there. Now we're going to put our mixture into our pots, or you might be using a little cup. Take one of my pots here. This is really handy if you've got 2 spoons. I can take a nice spoon of my mix, and then using the other spoon, I can scrape it down into my pot. Up and down, like that. And just using that tablespoon there, we can just push it down a little bit into the pot and make it nice and neat and tidy. So with my second pot, I'm going to repeat the skill. I'm going to take a nice big bit of the mixture and using the other spoon, scrape it in. Let's keep going. And scrape it in. And I think a little bit more. And if you've got some mixture left, that shows that you've really whipped your cream beautifully and light. And now using the back of the spoon, I'm just going to make sure it fits nicely into this little pot. For the final stage, we're going to turn this into an upside down cheesecake. I've got my biscuits all crushed from earlier. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle this all over the top. There we go. I'm not wasting any. Perfect. We've got our upside down cheesecakes all ready for eating. If you're not going to eat it straight away, make sure you put it in the fridge. And if you, a little sort of hack for you here, if you save the lids from crisps that come in long tubes, they will fit perfectly on top of these pots. So you've got an upside down cheesecake that you can transport around with you. And there we have our lovely upside down lime cheesecake. And I'm obviously going to have to try a massive amount. That's so delicious. Don't eat with your mouth open. Yum.